Listen carefully. Nobody is ignoring you by accident. You are being ignored because you are easy to ignore. Harsh, yes, but truth doesn't care about your feelings. Intro 020. There was a time when men were respected without speaking much. Today, men beg for attention. They chase validation. They try to be liked by everyone. And in the process, they become invisible. Section 1. The problem. You reply instantly. You say yes to everything. You fear losing people. And that fear makes you weak. Weak men are predictable. And predictable men are replaceable. Section 2. Machiavelli Truth. Niccolò Machiavelli once suggested something powerful. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Now understand this deeply. This is not about becoming cruel. This is about becoming unignorable. Section 3. Why you are ignored. People ignore you because you don't value yourself. You seek approval. You are always available. And here's the truth. Backhand index pointing right, the more available you are. Backhand index pointing right, the less valuable you become. Section 4. Shift your mindset. Start doing this. Disappear sometimes. Say a no without explanation. Stop explaining your every move. Because mystery creates respect. Section 5. Inner control. If you cannot control your mind, you cannot control your life. Your emotions should not control you. Anger, attachment, neediness. These are signs of weakness. Control them, and you become dangerous. Section 6. The power of silence. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is control. Most people talk too much. They explain too much. They reveal too much. And that makes them predictable. A man who speaks less is always respected more because people fear what they cannot understand. And silence creates mystery. When you stop reacting, people start observing you. When you stop explaining, people start respecting you. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Even Niccolò Machiavelli understood this. Powerful men don't waste words. They choose them carefully. Section 7. Stop seeking validation. Let's be honest. Most men today are addicted to validation. They post for attention. They speak for approval. They live for other people's opinions. And that is the biggest weakness. The moment your happiness depends on someone else, you lose power completely. You must understand this. Backhand index pointing right approval is a trap. The more you chase it, the more you lose yourself. Strong men don't ask, do they like me? They ask, do I respect myself? That's the difference. Section 8. Detachment is power. Attachment makes you emotional. And emotional men make weak decisions. If you get attached too quickly, you lose control. You start overthinking. You start chasing. You start begging silently. And people feel that energy. That's why they pull away. But when you are detached, you are calm. You are focused. You are in control. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you don't lose yourself while caring. That is power. Section 9. Discipline builds respect. Let me tell you something most people ignore. Talent is overrated. Discipline is everything. You don't become respected by talking big. You become respected by showing consistency, waking up on time, working even when you don't feel like it, staying focused when distractions are everywhere. That's what builds a strong man. Because discipline creates identity, and identity creates respect. Section 10. Control your emotions. Your emotions are your biggest enemy. Not because they exist, but because you don't control them. You get angry easily. You get jealous. You get hurt. And you react instantly. That's where you lose. A powerful man never reacts immediately. He observes. He thinks. Then he responds. That pause, That small moment of control, that's what separates winners from everyone else. Section 11. Become hard to reach. If everyone can access you, you have no value. Read that again. If you are always available, you are easily replaceable. Start becoming selective. Don't reply instantly. Don't say yes to everything. Don't be everywhere. Because rare things are always valued. When people feel like they might lose access to you, they start respecting you more. Section 12. Build your own path. Most people follow the crowd. They think like others. They act like others. They live like others. And then they wonder why they are ignored. Because average is invisible. If you want attention, you must become different. Not loud, not fake, but real. A man who walks his own path automatically stands out. Section 13. Fear no one. Fear is the root of weakness. You fear rejection. You fear judgment. You fear losing people. And because of that, you lose yourself. Let me tell you something clearly. People respect those who don't fear them. The moment you stop being afraid, your entire energy changes. You walk differently. You speak differently. You live differently. And people notice that. Section 14. Focus on self-growth. Stop watching others. Stop comparing. Stop competing. Start building yourself, your skills, your mindset, your discipline. Because at the end of the day, the only person you truly control is yourself. And once you master that, you become unstoppable. Section 15. The power of walking away. Most men are afraid to walk away, even when they are disrespected, even when they are ignored, even when they are clearly not valued. They stay, they tolerate, they hope things will change. But let me tell you something. Backhand index pointing right. The moment you tolerate disrespect, you teach people how to treat you. Powerful men don't beg for respect. They walk away from anything that lacks it. No arguments, no drama, no explanations, just silence and distance. Because walking away is not weakness, it's self-respect. Section 16. Control your time like a king. Your time is your life, and most people waste it like it's nothing. Scrolling, chasing people, doing meaningless things, and then they complain that they are not respected. Listen carefully. Backhand index pointing right. People respect those who respect their own time. If your time is cheap, you look cheap. Start protecting your time. Say a no to distractions. Say a no to useless conversations. Say a no to anything that doesn't improve your life. Because a man who controls his time controls his destiny. Section 17. Stop explaining yourself. You don't owe anyone constant explanations. Why you did something. Why you said something. Why you chose something. Weak men over-explain everything. They try to be understood. They try to justify themselves. But strong men, they decide, they act, and they move on. No validation needed. Because the more you explain yourself, backhand index pointing right, the more you look unsure. And uncertainty kills respect. Section 18. Build a strong presence. Your presence should speak before you do. The way you walk, the way you sit, the way you look at people. Everything matters. Confidence is not loud. Confidence is controlled. You don't need to shout. You don't need to prove anything. Because real power is calm. When you enter a room, people should feel something. Not fear, not tension, but authority. That silent energy that says, backhand index pointing right, this man knows his worth. Section 19. Master your thoughts. Everything starts in your mind. If your thoughts are weak, your actions will be weak. If your thoughts are powerful, your life will change. Most men are controlled by their thoughts. Overthinking, doubt, fear. They live inside their heads instead of controlling them. But powerful men, they observe their thoughts. They filter them. They choose what to believe. Because not every thought deserves your attention. Control your mind, or it will control you. Section 20. Pain builds power. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Every rejection, every failure, every heartbreak, it's shaping you. But weak men run from pain. They avoid it. They hide from it. And that's why they never grow. Strong men, they face pain. They embrace it. They use it because they know. Backhand index pointing right. Pain creates strength. Section 21. Stop being too nice. Let's be honest. Being too nice is not a strength. It's often fear in disguise. Fear of rejection. Fear of conflict. Fear of losing people. So you agree with everything. You tolerate everything. You accept everything. And people take advantage of that. Respect doesn't come from being nice. Backhand index pointing right. It comes from having boundaries. Learn to say no. Learn to disagree. Learn to stand your ground. Because a man with no boundaries has no respect. Section 22. Create value. You want respect? Create value. Not noise. Not attention. Not fake personality. Real value. Skills. Knowledge. Discipline. Because at the end of the day, backhand index pointing right, people respect what benefits them. If you bring nothing to the table, you will be ignored. Simple. Section 23. Be unpredictable. Predictable men are boring. They react the same way. They behave the same way. They think the same way. And people lose interest. But when you are unpredictable, people stay curious. Not emotionally unstable, but controlled unpredictability. Sometimes silent, sometimes sharp, sometimes distant. That mystery creates attraction. Section 24. Stop caring what people think. This is where most men fail. They care too much. What will people say? What will they think? And because of that, they never become themselves. Listen carefully. Backhand index pointing right, people are too busy thinking about themselves to think about you. So why are you limiting your life for their opinions? The moment you stop caring, you become free. And freedom is power. Final climax. Dark reality fire. The world is not kind. It doesn't reward weakness. It doesn't respect insecurity. It only respects strength, control, value. If you don't build these, you will always be ignored. Final outro. Powerful indirect hit. So remember this. Master yourself first. Control your mind. Control your emotions. Control your life. Stop chasing. Stop explaining. Stop seeking approval. Start becoming a man of silence, a man of discipline, a man of power. And when you reach that level, you won't need attention, because attention will come to you.